I'm here with David, who has lost 144 pounds over the last year. And David, I am so proud of you. I'm not proud because you lost 144 pounds. I am proud because of your efforts, because of your consistency, and because of your resilience to overcome a lot of different challenges to set yourself on a path of great health, longevity, and functionality. I'm really so proud of you, man.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask you, how does it feel looking back at how far you've come?
It feels great. It feels like a big accomplishment that I have done in my life, because I've always been overweight in my life. Ever since I was a little kid, I was overweight.
Would you, and you told me you'd be okay, would you be okay sharing some of the physical challenges?
Yeah. I would have trouble, when I was younger, high school age, gym class, I would have trouble with. I'd have to sit out a decent amount. But now it's like the doctors are taking me off meds. My blood work's been great with health factors and things like that. And my MS has been good too.
Yeah, could you share a little bit about what your MS is and how it affects you?
Yeah, I have relapsing-remitting MS, which means in a nutshell that it comes and goes. I have sensitivity to high heats and things of that nature, and sometimes I get flare-ups and it hurts my legs, but I still come to training.
Well, what does a flare-up look like if somebody has never...
Okay, a flare-up is kind of like if you get hugged really, really tight, and it's like the MS hug, which goes around your rib cage and things of that nature with the nerves and everything, and it tends to flare up and hurt.
So like somebody's suffocating.
Correct.
You, is that a fair
Correct.
way?
Yeah, that's fair. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I remember, so you and I have been training a lot longer than a year.
Yeah.
But it's really just this last year where you really started to crank it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember a conversation you and I had.
Yeah.
Not sure if you remember.
I remember.
So I remember your mother, who is so lovely.
Yes.
And cares about you so much.
Oh yeah.
I remember you weren't coming to training one day because you were just feeling a little like, and your mom told you to kind of sit this one out.
Yeah.
And I remember I called you on the phone and I had a little bit of a different conversation with you. And this feels a little odd to me right now. This was a couple of years ago.
Right.
Because now as a father, I'm so used to, I've changed so much where I use a very fatherly, nurturing voice, which has tremendous merits.
Yes.
Just like your mother uses a lovely, mothering, nurturing voice.
Yes.
I didn't give you that voice that day though. I gave you the drill sergeant voice.
Right.
Which there is a lot of validity because the drill sergeant voice can pull something out of you that the nurturing voice doesn't necessarily do. And I remember what I said to you on the phone was, David, I understand your body hurts and I understand you're in pain. You are never going to make any progress if you don't get yourself here, even on days where you're not feeling your best. So put your big boy pants on, get to the gym today. We can modify your workout if we need to, but you gotta push through days like this because it's only pushing through days like this that are gonna get you to a future where we're not gonna be able to make the pain go all the way away, right?
Right.
Or where we could turn the volume way down. So we could turn it from like a 10, maybe down to a 2.
Yeah.
And do you remember what happened after that point?
I started showing up more and
dude,
more. Yeah.
You never, if you miss training right now because you tell me you're not feeling good, I know you're in like a bad way.
Yes.
Because you don't miss anymore.
Right.
And you've shared with me how has that, you've gotten so much stronger, dude. We were doing, when you were really inconsistent, this just pops in my head right now.
Yeah.
When you were really inconsistent, I remember doing Romanian deadlifts with you with 5-pound dumbbells. Like we had to treat you like Grandma Moses because we didn't want you to break, right?
Right, yeah.
Now I remember the other week you're doing 135 on Romanian deadlifts with a 45 on each side for 15 reps. So I how has that affected you, the difference, since you've gotten stronger and since you've really gotten a lot more diligent when showing up?
It makes me feel proud because it's like, wow, I've came a long way from what I was doing to now.
Yeah. Has it made life easier?
Yes, it has. It's made life so much easier to the point where I was going to cancel my Vegas trip because of all the walking and all that. But now I switched gears from San Diego to Vegas because now I can walk and feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Now.
That's all. What were you telling me earlier about putting on your socks and your shoes?
Oh, I was struggling a lot to do that. I was bending over. I was having a lot of trouble breathing. I'm like, holy crow, what the heck? Good thing I'm not a smoker, or that would have been 10 times worse.
One would think that if you were having second thoughts about taking a trip because of needing to walk, or if you have a hard time putting on your socks and shoes, like that would be the impetus for boom, like I need to make a change today.
Yeah.
But it's not for so many people, and it wasn't for you either. So what was it that sparked you? You mentioned like a birthday to me. What was it that sparked you over the last year that you really made this diligent change?
When I turned 40 last year, I was like, okay, we need to do something, and it's like coming to the gym has helped that a lot, and going with my mom and Don here, it makes it that much better to come with your family.
Absolutely. Like when you have camaraderie and motivation, it's tremendous. What did you say a doctor kind of put an idea in your head about coming up at the age 40?
What was it? I
remember you were telling me a couple minutes ago, you were saying how
the meds and
you were saying how you could see, like, coming up at the age of 40, that you needed to start taking control. Otherwise, your health was going to go one way versus another.
Kind of like the yellow brick road effect. You go this way or that way. And I rather go the one route with working out and better nutrition and more water intake, things like that. Whereas the other way, if I would have gone that, I would have just sat on the couch, withered away.
Listen,
and not feel great.
I get it. Like before we started filming, the idea that I was on with what you shared with me was that you were coming up on your 40th birthday, and that your doctor said to you something to the effect of, like, your body's going to start slowing down now if you don't do something about it. And I can always see that in people. I tell my wife all the time, I tell Gina, like, I could always see the beginning of the end of people's lives. And I don't mean like they're going to die tomorrow, but what I mean is somebody who, like, let's say somebody who doesn't work out, right? And all of a sudden they need knee replacement surgery. Boom, beginning of the end for them. They don't work out, they're not strong, they're never gonna have a full recovery. They're losing muscle as they age. It's like the beginning of this downhill physical, mental spiral for them, where you could literally trace that back to the beginning of the end. COVID was huge. I still know people who have not gotten back on track after COVID, and it's every year they put on more weight, they become less physically able, and as you physically lose yourself, you mentally start to lose yourself as well, and it's never a pretty picture as the years go on. So it was cool hearing from you that you realized that was like an inflection point where, would you say the yellow brick road?
Yes.
What happens if you go the other way on the yellow brick road?
You become diabetic, you can have kidney issues from not drinking enough water, and you can just go downhill with your health and to the point where you'll need insulin every day, pills.
Maybe you gotta hit, I'm just brainstorming out loud. Maybe you have to hit a point of such pain in your life where you have to make a change. Because what we were saying about, like, you would think if somebody has a hard time putting their shoes on, that would be, I need to change.
Right.
But so many people don't. I can't tell you, I think of you quite a bit. Whenever someone texts me that they're not gonna make the gym today because, and then a myriad of excuses that are just, could be boiled down to, I just kind of don't feel like coming today. I think of David, who is constant pain, a fair way to put it, although...
Yes,
depends on the day.
Correct, yes, but it's gotten better.
I think of you showing up in pain, pushing through, and taking yourself to a much healthier place because you've gotten rid of the excuses.
Right.
So would you say that that's, again, I'm brainstorming, but it's hitting a point of pain where you realize, I don't want to make excuses anymore, and I'm going to move forward from there?
Yes, it is, yeah. Because if you don't work out, you can't get to point A to point B, T equals C. Kind of thing. Yeah, because if you're not going to put in the work, why even try it at all?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
With the point A to the point B, you're referring to the, okay.
Yeah.
What gets you from point A to point B is not going to be the same plan that gets you from point B to C or C to D. Right. So it's like for you, point A to point B was you got started here and you started training. But that was about all the effort you were putting in.
Right.
You would show up, let's say 60% of the time, maybe 40% of the time you wouldn't. But then to get from point B to point C, you started showing up 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Then to get from point C to point D, you started getting your nutrition on track.
Yes.
Which is the next question I want to ask you about. What do you think is like the one nutritional change that has helped you the most?
I've gotten pre-made meals from Eat Right because with that, it has all your nutrients, your carbs, your proteins, your vegetables. It gives you a nice little well-rounded meal. Like the other day, I had salmon with a little bit of rice and broccoli.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, I know one of the things you were sharing with me was, it sounds like the ease where you don't have to sit down and meal prep. It's just, it takes down that barrier. It's just easy to pop a meal in the microwave or warm it up on the stovetop and have that preset.
Yes.
So what would you tell the old version of you? I know I didn't tell you I was going to ask this question.
No.
It was just popping in my head. What would you tell the old version of you who's not doing that right now?
What the hell is wrong with you, and why didn't you do it earlier in life?
Why didn't you do it earlier in life?
I was afraid that I was going to get made fun of because all through school I was bullied and things like that. And I've been to other gyms, like walk in just to walk, and they're like, "Oh, we can help you. We can do this," like a sales pitch.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go to the gym for a sales pitch. You know, it's like I'd rather go here with Chris Rombola because my mom and my family have come here and they've opened my eyes and like, hey, come with us. It'll be easier with a group of people.
All right. So none of these questions were questions I told you I was going to ask you. You got me thinking though. So you started here because your mom and Don are both coming here.
Correct.
So there was familiarity and there was some sort of trust already.
Yes.
So what's different between working with me and working with somebody at like one of the other places you mentioned before?
You're more willing to work with me if I'm having a little pain, this and that, instead of saying, oh, just suck it up and work through it. And you're more along the lines of, okay, let's modify your exercise, but you're still going to do the exercise, just not real heavy as you're used to, kind of thing. Whereas going to another gym, first time I walked in, the personal trainer's right there on you saying, oh, I can make you this, this, and this, and oh, it's going to only run you $300. It's like,
You know what? I really appreciate what you just said. I really strive to create an environment where with our small group training, you're still getting individualized training.
Yeah.
So it's like right now, the programs that I do with you are different than the programs I do with anyone else because your needs are different. Ultimately, the goal is, and you're getting really strong lately, ultimately, I want to get you back up to the point where you could get in with like Don and do a lot of the same exercises and training.
Yeah.
But I always like to meet everyone at their current level and design a program for them that meets them at that level, even in a group, and build you up like that. So you're getting the equivalent of if you and I were doing one-on-one training together, you're still getting that individual need versus throwing you into a like cookie cutter boot camp type workout where everyone's doing the same thing.
Right. I like how you customize the workouts for each person, and it's kind of like going to a restaurant and there's an a la carte menu.
I like that. All right.
Yeah. It's like you could go to these other gyms and have an a la carte menu, or you could come here and have more of a program and have it be well thought out.
Wait, I thought I was the a la carte menu.
You could.
They're the buffet.
Yes.
I'm the a la carte menu. I give you what you need.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, one more question for you, David. What would you say to someone who feels overwhelmed and thinks they can't change?
Well, take it one step at a time. Don't put the cart before the horse, kind of thing. Put the horse before the cart. Strive for small little, goals, like, I'm going to up my water intake by 20%.
Yeah.
And maybe the next couple months you're just working on your water. Then you're going to fit in, maybe I should look at a gym to go to. So it's like, you're going at your pace, don't rush it. But then again, you don't want to be lazy and just sit around and not want to do anything in life.
So that reminds me of that expression. What's the best way to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Mm-hmm. So you're saying just take one small step at a time. Yes. Don't worry about looking at the bigger picture.
Correct.
And hey, can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
Because you said something that really touched me a couple of minutes ago. What would you say to the version of yourself? Because you just said you grew up overweight your whole life. You were afraid of making a change. And you kind of said something where you're afraid of getting made fun of. You said, what would you say to that? This is personally, I think we all have this hurt version of a kid inside of us.
Yes.
And it's all for different reasons. Mm-hmm. What would you say to that hurt version of a kid inside of you?
That anything is possible in life. You just got to put your mind to it and achieve it.
Oh, that's so nice. You know what's funny? We all talk. I like to tell people sometimes, I think it's helpful. Mm-hmm. Try to talk to yourself like you were somebody that you were in charge of taking care of. Mm-hmm. Because I'm sure if you had a little David to take care of, you would talk to him with a lot nicer voice than the voice that you use in your head.
Yes.
So if we were a little nicer and a little more nurturing to ourselves, but also let's throw in a dash of drill sergeant on the a la carte menu.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's C, all of the above.
Yeah. I think we would have a lot more success. And then one thing you might find in your journey right now, because again, you're down 144 pounds, which is incredible. But what's more incredible is the consistency, the effort, the discipline. And I know you're going to keep taking this further and keep getting healthier. As you tie those all together, you might find that you start to bring peace and closure to the hurt version of you on the inside as you start to embrace this new version of you.
It's kind of like a flower blossoming.
You are a flower.
I'm not sure which flower I would be.
I don't know you're a lily. Is that a purple flower?
Yeah. I guess.
All right, I'm a black rose and you're a lily.
Yeah.
David, I genuinely, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down and do an interview. I hope that this is motivational I hope at least one person hearing this, it hits some chord with them that motivates them on some level. And I'm really proud of you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Keep up the great work.
You too.
Thanks.
Yes.